Do you want to move your apps and data quickly and seamlessly into the public cloud? Do you want to unblock those most data center bound applications and get them integrated with Google Cloud's market leading AI and big data services? Or maybe you just want to extend your data center locations to make use of Google Cloud's global availability for on-demand use cases such as seasonal peaks, end-user compute, or cloud recovery. Well, Nutanix Cloud Clusters, NC2 on Google Cloud can help with all of this and a whole lot more. So let's take a closer look. Hello there! It's December 2025 and Nutanix Cloud Clusters, NC2 on Google Cloud is now generally available. That's GA to you and me. I'm Matt Brown for Nutanix TME, and in this video I'm going to take you through what you need to know to get started to build your hybrid cloud with Nutanix and Google Cloud. Or at least the Google Cloud end. We can leave the other end mostly to your imagination, it being a data center thing and that. But before we dive into the how, let's run through a little of the what with a few cheeky diagrams. So here we are in the Google Cloud with a customer project. And in that customer project, we've set up a couple of service accounts and we've enabled the Compute Engine API. And these service accounts then allow the Nutanix NC2 portal to reach in via the Google Cloud APIs and orchestrate the resources in that customer project. This includes customer VPCs, Compute Engine instances, and a little bit of hyperdisk, to the hypervisor boot disks, among other things. It also orchestrates the whole building of the Nutanix cluster in Google Cloud, sets up an internet gateway so that Cloud Cluster can ping back to the NC2 portal, and then you just have all of the Nutanix services for running virtual machines, containers, storage, and everything else, just like you would on any other Nutanix cluster wherever it was running. You can also connect back to your on-premise or other locations using the Cloud VPN or Cloud Interconnect, whatever connectivity you're using. And this means you can then build a hybrid cloud back to a Nutanix cluster in your data center, stretching the operations, making it one way of working with things across these and many other locations potentially, and use Nutanix services like overlay networking, data replication, and recovery orchestration to quickly and seamlessly move your workloads from the data center up to the Google Cloud, or potentially back again as your requirements need. You can also deploy Nutanix Move into your Google Cloud Nutanix Cloud Platform and use that to migrate, to move some of your workloads on legacy virtualization up into your Google Cloud Nutanix Cloud Cluster. And that can be a fairly straightforward and seamless process to move those data center bound workloads, the ones you have trouble with, the ones that are difficult to migrate, prime pickings for moving up onto the NC2 on the Google Cloud. Right, so that's the theory. Let's dive in and take a look at how we do this in the NC2 portal. So here we are in the NC2 console, and we're on the Organizations tab here over on the left, and we're going to add a cloud account. We've already set up our service account for compute as per the Nutanix documentation. We've enabled the Compute Engine API. We've checked the quotas and the permissions, things like that. So we are all ready to go with the information we need to add this cloud account. So click Add Cloud Account. We're going to change the cloud to Google Cloud, of course. I'm going to change the name of this cloud account. We then need to add two separate Google Cloud service accounts that we will have created as per the Nutanix support portal documentation. Firstly, the default Compute Engine service account, and that's going to look something like this. The reason I'm showing you this is because this isn't my real account number or a real project ID. I'm going to replace it with a fake one for the purposes of this demo. Then we need to add the Google Cloud service account we created for the NC2 portal. Next, I need to upload the service account key that we can easily get from the Google Cloud console, and there it is. I've saved it away, and we're now going to verify those credentials and make sure that they work. Yes, I've checked, we're good. The credentials have the permissions they need to access Google Cloud. Here you can select the supported regions. You may want to limit this down to stop people provisioning in places where you don't have savings plans or CUDs or whatever. And then click this box here just to check that we understand what we're exactly doing with giving access to the Nutanix NC2 console to the Google Cloud console. And then simply we hit add account, and a few seconds later it is there and it's ready to use to start provisioning a cluster. From here we can then go to clusters and hit the create cluster button. First we've got to change our organization. I'm going to change it over to my organization, and then the cloud provider, that's Google Cloud. You see I've given the cluster a name at the top there, and that auto generates based on the organization name that I created earlier. The Google Cloud account here, this is the cloud account I used, which is just the TME demo org, and then we can select the regions. You see I limited down the regions to only certain regions here, and then we get to choose an availability zone. With that all set, let's hit next and move on to the software version. Here we have 7.3, which is the GA release software version for NC2 on Google Cloud, the AOS version that is. You can also select your software tier between Pro and Ultimate depending on what you've decided to go with, as well as some other options. Next we get to select our type of bare metal host and the configuration, and go with the default 3 hosts. You can do 1, but that's not officially supported, and you can keep going up and up and up and up and up to 28, but not 29. So we'll hit next. Now we need to enter some network information here. You do have a choice of deploying into a new VPC created by the NC2 portal, or you can deploy into an existing VPC. We'll probably do a deep dive video on that at some point in the future, but for the moment we're just going to create a new VPC from the NC2 portal. So let's enter some networking information here. Cluster subnet CIDR range, we're going to enter some DNS, and there's some access policy stuff at the bottom here we're not going to worry about today. Next, what are we going to do with Prism Central? So we're going to deploy a new Prism Central this time, although you could have your cluster connect to an existing Prism Central and manage everything from there. We're going to choose large just because why not, and there's a few settings to take care of here. Remember the admin password is quite important. We next need to configure Flow Virtual Networking, and to do that it's simply enter some ranges for the transit VPCs that are going to be created automatically. You can create more, you can do all kinds of stuff with Flow Virtual Networking, but in this demo we're just going to keep it fairly simple and deploy these 2 ranges at /24s. So that's basically it. Now we have a summary page. If we scroll down here, see everything we've set. We've got that password again that we should copy and make a note of. And most importantly, right at the bottom, we can see that we have sufficient quotas in our cloud account, in our Google Cloud project. And if you click here, you can take a look at the details of that and even hit check quotas again if it's not coming up right. So we're just going to hit create on this, and we're taken through to the next page where building our NC2 cluster has already begun. And you can see lots of information here about what we've deployed and the various stages it's going to go through of creating a cluster. Creating the cluster itself usually takes 45 to 60 minutes, and then there's the Prism Central build out that is necessary for this particular deployment. I think it's possibly time to take a pause and go and make a cup of tea. So here we can see that our cluster's deployed. Prism Central has also deployed, and we're on the main normal running screen that you get in the NC2 portal. You can take a look around here at some of the information provided about the software versions we've deployed, where the cluster's deployed, what kind of hardware it's got, things like that. And then you can go to this bar at the top and also go into some of the more detail like the audit trail, notification history, and also get the Prism Central IP address so that we can then connect through from a jump host or over the VPN or cloud interconnect, depending on how we got our networking set up. Well, there we have it. What could be simpler? Very easy and straightforward to get your Nutanix Cloud Cluster working in the Google Cloud. Nutanix Cloud Clusters are also available on the Google Cloud Marketplace, where you can draw down on any existing Google Cloud commits. You can also use your on-premise Nutanix licenses and port them to run in Google Cloud as well. Please check out the links below, especially the test drive that goes through what we've been through today and also then shows you how you can migrate workloads to NC2 on Google Cloud. So until next time, thanks for listening.